It was a foggy evening in Creepsville, and Sammy was heading home, walking through the eerie woods on the edge of town. Everyone knew the stories about the woods, about strange figures and sounds, but tonight something drew him in. The air was thick, the fog swirling like it had a mind of its own. As Sammy ventured deeper, a sudden voice startled him. "Sammy, stop!" He spun around to see Millie Bobby Brown standing there, her face pale with fear. "Millie Bobby Brown, what are you doing here?" Sammy asked, confused. "There's no time. She's coming," Millie Bobby Brown whispered urgently. "Who's coming?" Before she could answer, an eerie chant echoed through the trees. "Jojo, Jojo, Jojo." Sammy's heart pounded. "Wait, Jojo Siwa. What are you talking about?" "It's not the Jojo Siwa you know," Millie said, her voice trembling. "She changed." The fog parted, and out stepped Jojo Siwa. But something was horribly wrong. Her skin was pale, her eyes glowing neon, and her movements were jerky, puppet-like. She grinned unnaturally, her smile too wide. But the most terrifying thing was that Jojo Siwa could only say one word. "Jojo, Jojo, Jojo," she chanted, her voice unsettlingly cheerful. Sammy stared in horror as Jojo Siwa crouched down and laid a glittering egg on the ground. The egg cracked open, and out came another Jojo Siwa, identical to the first. They both turned to face Sammy and Millie Bobby Brown, their eyes glowing. "Is she laying eggs?" Sammy stammered. "Yes," Millie said grimly. "Every time she lays one, another Jojo is born. They're multiplying." "What do we do?" Sammy asked, panic rising in his voice. "We have to destroy her source of power, a bow hidden deep in these woods. You need to distract her while I find it." Before Sammy could protest, Millie Bobby Brown disappeared into the fog, leaving him alone with the multiplying Jojo Siwas. The Jojos began to surround Sammy, chanting in unison, "Jojo, Jojo, Jojo." Sammy grabbed a stick from the ground, trying to fend them off, but they were fast, too fast. One of the Jojos lunged at him, knocking him to the ground. Her hands, now sharp with glittering claws, dug into his skin. Sammy screamed as her body began to dissolve into glittery mist, seeping into him. He could feel the cold, unnatural energy taking over. "Millie Bobby Brown, help!" Sammy cried out, but his voice was already starting to change. The glitter spread through his veins, and his skin began to shimmer. His limbs twitched uncontrollably, and when he opened his mouth, only one word came out: "Jojo." Meanwhile, Millie Bobby Brown was racing through the woods, searching for the bow. Finally, she reached a clearing where a massive, glowing bow sat on a stone pedestal. It pulsed with a sickly pink light, radiating power. Without hesitation, she grabbed a burning branch and hurled it at the bow. As the flames engulfed it, a horrifying screech filled the air. The bow exploded in a burst of energy, sending shockwaves through the forest. Back in the clearing, the Jojo Siwas began to melt, their bodies disintegrating into piles of glitter. But as the last Jojo faded, Millie Bobby Brown arrived to find Sammy lying on the ground, his body shimmering with a cursed glitter. "Sammy?" she whispered, kneeling beside him. Sammy's eyes flickered open, but they were no longer his. They glowed with the same neon light as Jojo Siwa's. "Jojo," he whispered, a twisted smile spreading across his face. "No," Millie Bobby Brown gasped, stepping back. It was too late. Sammy was gone, consumed by the curse. As the fog thickened, the faint echo of Jojo, Jojo, filled the woods once more, signaling that the nightmare was far from over.
"Jojo! Jojo! Jojo! Jojo!